we're introducing to the fan base in the LA City section, it's history. These are the people who made it what it is today in the athletic fields. It's just a wonderful event. It's a great opportunity to meet the greats of yesteryear and to hear their stories and what high school meant to them is just a special night.
You know, I've always believed that the people you see in high school sports in Los Angeles are the stars of tomorrow. And it's great to be able to acknowledge those who have paved the way. Many of the people here tonight went on to have wonderful careers, but everything always begins at home, and you must always take care of your family, meaning the people from your home. That's why this is so important.
Tonight, it's great to see some of these people getting finally honored, such as Freeman Williams, great player, basketball player from Manual Arts, Chris Marlowe, who was a terrific volleyball basketball player at Palisades, Keeson Johnson did great things at Dorsey and then later at USC. So it's always very tough to get inducted into the City Section Hall of Fame, and once you make it, you're pretty happy, and you can see why tonight, with over 300 people here to celebrate their accomplishments.
And now let's call the Gardena High School color guard to the stage. I feel pretty safe right now, I have to be honest with you. And now Louisa Tampi with our national anthem, Granada Hills High School.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleam, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous flight, o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly strewn, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
How good was she, by the way? Seriously. Very good news. I just learned that each video tribute, and it really is heartfelt, sincere, and the most important part of our evening. There are 44 of them. Each one is 1 hour long. So we ask you to settle in, please. Also, Randy Rosenblum, stand up, Randy, who has been involved in high school sports forever, did the voiceover on this. Eric Sonnenheimer, LA Times. Stand up, Eric. Eric's been covering high school sports here in Southern California since 1890. So he is here tonight reporting on the event. Some people are here, some people are not. And our first inductee tonight is someone I think has gone on to be fairly successful. You may have heard of this guy, Al Michaels.
Al Michaels has done it all on the field of sports broadcasting. Following stints with CBS Sports and announcing UCLA basketball games during the John Wooden era, Michaels joined ABC Sports, where he called a wide variety of major events, such as Major League Baseball, the NBA, and ultimately Monday Night Football for 2 decades. He is presently the voice of Sunday Night Football and has been part of NBC Sports since 2006. He is best remembered for the 1980 Winter Olympics when the United States pulled a stunning upset over the USSR in ice hockey. His words, "Do you believe in miracles?" will live on forever.
Next up, Washington 1964, Rick O'Brien.
With the mentoring of Bill Schroeder of the Helms Athletic Foundation, Rick O'Brien has compiled over 300,000 bios of notable athletes in high schools, including 12,000 from the LA City section. Upon college graduation, he began a 39-year career as a teacher at Carson Street School in the LAUSD. He has won such teaching honors as Hero in Education, City of Carson Teacher of the Year, and has been included in numerous editions of Who's Who among America's teachers. Rick is a 2015 recipient of the Distinguished Service Award from the CIF Southern Section.
Thank you for this honor. I would like to first thank all my family and friends and former students who came to this event. And of course I have to thank my beautiful wife, my 2 wonderful sons, my wonderful daughters. And I just want to give you a brief chronology of how this Hall of Fame began. In 1999, Bruce McIntosh, Bill Peck, and I went to Barbara Feige, who's here. Barbara, are you able to stand up right now? We went to her with the idea of the Hall of Fame. It took us a while to get it going. In 2006, one of the district administrators liked the idea, so we got the Hall of Fame going. It took us a while to get the criteria in, but we did that, and in 2011 we had our first induction, followed by 13, 15, now 17. I hope to be here in the 2017 induction. Thank you.
You know, to hear Rick's comments, see him up here, so incredibly excited. It reminded me of something that happened to me. You know, you get to a certain point in life where if you've been around long enough, you start to receive awards. And it wasn't too many years ago that I received a Lifetime Achievement Award. And when I got notification that I'd received this Lifetime Achievement Award, honest to God, I began to sob. I began to cry. And I'll tell you why. Because my life isn't over yet. It was a little soon for lifetime achievement. You know what I mean? Makes you think. Just ask Rick, he knows. Okay. Next up, Jeff Fisher.
And all LA City wide receiver at Taft, Jeff Fisher continued playing football at USC. He then played in the NFL for the Chicago Bears from 1981 to 85 and was a member of the Super Bowl champions in 1985. Since his playing days ended, Fisher's enjoyed a lengthy career as an NFL head coach, spanning 22 seasons. He began with the Houston Oilers, who then became the Tennessee Titans, and remained there through 2010. In 2012, he was named the head coach of the St. Louis Rams. Through the 2016 season, Fisher has 173 wins, 11th all time.
He would have been here tonight, but unfortunately he is still unpacking moving boxes from the Rams moving from St. Louis. Relocation expert. Gardena 1972, Ed Azam.
Ed Azam recently finished his 38th season as the head coach at Westchester. He's led the Comets to 13 city section basketball championships and 6 CIF state Division I titles. Azam surpassed legendary Crenshaw coach Woodley West for the most all-time wins in LA city section history. He now owns 846 career victories through the 2017 season. His 2004 team was named the Cal High Sports State Team of the Year, and Azam earned the 2002 Cal High Sports State Coach of the Year. Former Comet great players that played for Ed include Trevor Ariza, Amir Johnson, Sam Crawford, Zan Mason, Dwayne Poley Jr., and Elijah Stewart. Azam received the 2016 CIF Distinguished Service Award on behalf of the CIF LA City Section.
I would also like to thank the City Section for this honor and to recognize my family, my wife Darlene, and my kids for their inspiration through all these years of coaching. Without her and them, this isn't possible. Also, I'd also like to recognize the reason I'm standing here is all my wonderful assistant coaches and the great players. Without players, coaches aren't very much, very important. So all the guys that have come before, this is for you also. Thank you.
Hamilton, 1969, Myra Einberg.
Myra Einberg is a native of Los Angeles and a product of the LAUSD school system. After 8 years of teaching at Belmont and Huntington Park High Schools, she found her permanent home at Venice High School. Her Venice teams won city championships in volleyball in 1991 and twice in golf in 2009 and in 2011. Since retirement, she has served as the volleyball liaison and golf sports coordinator for the LA City Section. Currently, Myra is involved with Friends of Golf, an organization that raises money to support area high schools and college golf teams.
I have to say, like, who knew that I would ever be up here accepting this award? I want to thank my family, my friends, my former students, my colleagues, all for being so supportive tonight. None of this could have happened without all of them. So thank you so much.
From University, Ernest Bud Kling.
Bud Kling's career as head coach of Palisades boys and girls tennis teams is as distinguished as any other coach in the country. He's led the Dolphins to 41 city titles, 24 with the boys and 17 with the girls. He has accumulated more than 1,100 victories during his 37 years. He's coached the boys from 79 through the present. He has coached the girls for 2 different stints, 84 through 2008, and returned in 2015. With a few more years under his belt, Kling will become the winningest high school tennis coach in the country.
Well, I think the most challenging thing in my coaching career is being able to say all I have to say in under 3 minutes. So I want to thank all the other people who were much briefer in giving me their time. My friends know exactly what I'm talking about. First, I want to thank the city section staff that I've worked with over the years. I won't read up all the names, but I've been doing this for a long time. And also the committee that's involved in organizing this great event tonight and the selection for this honor. I'd like to thank my school administration, which is represented tonight by Russ Howard over there, John Aiken somewhere in the room. I also want to thank my 2 members of my coaching staff, Ron and Ray, who are sitting here, wave guys, and all the past and present players that I've had. I also want to thank my family for all the time I've had to sacrifice to do this thing that I love so much. My wife Cheryl and my son Ryan and my daughter Alex, who both played for Pali High varsity. In fact, my daughter was the clinching point against Taft in 2006. I think she won the championship for us. I want to thank all my friends. There's a lot of people here today from UCLA and from East Lake Palisades, where some other people. And I also want to say a little thank you for someone who, when I first started subbing in '72, when you couldn't find a job, there was a teacher at Dorsey High School who was promoting high school tennis through the entire city, not just certain areas. It's Larry Smith, and he was unable to be here tonight, but his wife was here, and we miss Larry, and I really wish he could have been here. I've been blessed with many talented players over the years, but also more kids that just want to come in and work really hard. They put up with me because I'm a pretty tough nut when I don't want to be. And they've worked really hard to play, because you're not going to win with 2 or 3 stars at the top. You got to have all the other people there to contribute. Turn the page quickly here. My present team has been very successful, and bother me to that. But my greatest pleasure in coaching, besides seeing these kids achieve and mature as tennis players, mature as young adults, and they learn how to work as a team and learn how to behave and work as a group. And I see some of them when they come back to Pali. I bumped into them. I just bumped into a captain last week on a spring trip vacation in New York City. We had dinner with her. And it's just wonderful to see how these kids develop from the sports and all that we've done for them. And I love this profession, and I've been retired from teaching since 2008, and I don't plan on stopping coaching anytime soon. Thank you.
Okay, for those of you that were told to keep your speech to a certain amount of time, and Bud mentioned the other people went a little shorter, so he could go a little longer. Now we're back on time. Dorsey, 1969, Ralph Tilley.
Ralph Tilley has established Dorsey Track and Field as one of the elite programs in the city section. Under his guidance and leadership since 1988, Tilley has led the Dons to 15 city titles, 29 league championships, and a state crown in 2005. Tilley was a track standout at Dorsey, West LA College, and Langston University. He was captain and competed in the NAIA Nationals in the long jump and 4x100 relay. Tilley has coached such talented athletes as Bean O'Brien, Ron, and Kevin Copeland, Lamont Warner, and Richard Clark.
Thank you. First I'm going to say Vicky, thank you for my go-kart, Vicky. But I'm here and I want to thank the coaching staff, my assistant coaches, and also head coaches, Paul Knox, Irvin Davis, Mr. David Williams, stand-up David. No inside joke. But also I have a pathfinder on my staff, Mr. Steve Lang, legendary coach, came out of high school, is with me presently, and also he's my cousin. Can you believe that? That's real. But Mr. Love, Dr. Well, my administration, my athletic director, Cheryl Newbell, Andy Newbell, excuse me, Javon Hayes, thank all you guys, and Keyshawn, DDP for life, baby.
All right, I do not think this man is in attendance. From 1922, Jefferson Ralph Bunch.
An early civil rights fighter, Ralph Bunch overcame many hardships to achieve greatness. At Jefferson High School, he competed in football, baseball, and track and field, and was a second-team All-LA City basketball player. At UCLA, he was a 2-year basketball starter. In 1948, he mediated an armistice between Israel and the Arab states, for which he earned a Nobel Peace Prize. Ralph Bunch was also awarded the Medal of Freedom from President John F. Kennedy.
That may have been his most impressive accomplishment. Okay, Birmingham, 1961, Bob Bennett.
Bob Bennett became a swimming star at an early age, winning the 1958 LA City 100-yard backstroke as a ninth grader and repeated in 1960 and 1961. Attending USC, Bennett was the 1963 and 64 NCAA 100-yard backstroke champion. He was a member of the 1960 and 64 U.S. Olympic teams, earning bronze medals in the 200-meter backstroke. In 1961, he set the world record in the 100-meter backstroke. Bob Bennett was a three-time All-American at USC from 1963 to 1965.
1965, from Grant, Don McKenzie.
Don McKenzie placed third at the 1965 LA City Swimming Breaststroke Finals. McKenzie's greatest achievements came at the 1968 Summer Olympic Games in Mexico City, where he received a gold medal for winning the men's 100-meter breaststroke. He won a second gold medal as a member of the winning U.S. team in the men's 4x100-meter medley relay. Don McKenzie is a member of the International Swimming and Diving Hall of Fame.
Chatsworth, 1978, Donna Lee, Wennerstrom, Carlson.
Donna Lee began her swimming career with the West Valley Swim Team. At the age of 15, she was the Pan American Games 200-meter backstroke champion. She then competed in the 1976 Summer Olympic Games in Montreal, placing 6th in the women's 400-meter individual medley. She also competed in the preliminary heats of the 200-meter butterfly, recording a personal best time. She attended UCLA and became an NCAA All-American in 1979.
This will be very short because I didn't know I was going to have to say anything, but I'm very honored. I'm very honored, and I thank everybody so much. And I'm very honored to be a part of everybody in this group that's being inducted. Thank you very much.
Polytechnic, 1929, Georgia Coleman.
Competing at the 1928 Summer Olympics as a 16-year-old, Georgia Coleman earned a silver medal in platform diving and a bronze medal in springboard diving. Her success continued as she was the U.S. National Springboard Diving Champion in 1929, 30, and 31. At the 1932 Los Angeles Summer Olympic Games, Coleman won the gold medal in springboard diving and earned a silver medal in platform diving. Georgia Coleman is a member of the International Swimming and Diving Hall of Fame.
1953, from Jordan, Earl Batty.
A great basketball star in high school who became an all-star Major League Baseball catcher, Earl Batty was the LA City Co-Basketball Player of the Year in 1952. He repeated as an All-City basketball player again in 1953. He reached the big leagues in 1955 with the White Sox, but his Major League glory days were with the Minnesota Twins. An amazing catcher with a powerful throwing arm, Batty was a 3-time Gold Glove winner and 5-time All-Star. Batty played more games at catcher than any other player in Twins history.
Hello, I'm Brenda Batty. I'm Earl Batty's daughter. I'm here tonight as his emissary, and I have to tell you, this is the 3rd Hall of Fame induction that I've attended for my dad. The first one was in 2005 when he was inducted into the Hall of Fame for the Minnesota Twins. And then a couple of years later, he was inducted by Jordan High School into their Hall of Fame. So it's with great pleasure that I attend this induction for him as well. So I'm happy that I have several members of his family here with me tonight to participate in this induction. A couple of sisters, a brother, uncles, a couple of brothers-in-law, and my own brothers and sisters, as well as several nieces. So thank you very much for this honor.
Dorsey, 1978, Chili Davis.
Chili Davis began his high school career at Fremont, but transferred to Dorsey. He later came up with the San Francisco Giants in 1981 and also played with the Angels, Minnesota, Kansas City, and the New York Yankees through 1999. Davis was an All-Star in 84, 86, and 94. His finest season was 1994 when he hit .315 with 31 home runs and 81 RBIs. Davis collected 2,380 career hits, had a lifetime batting average of .274 to go along with his 350 home runs and 1,372 RBIs. More importantly, he's a three-time World Series champion, winning crowns in 91, 98, and 1999. Chili is the current hitting coach for the Boston Red Sox.
I remember when Chili played for the Angels, and I think it's safe to say at times he was somewhat defensively challenged. And there was a ball hit to left field, and somehow, some way, he actually caught the ball, which was unusual back in the day. And I went up and I asked him, wow, that was a pretty good defensive play. What can you tell me? And he said, I don't know what happened, the ball just jumped into my glove. Who knew? Got a good sense of humor. Chatsworth, 1969, Dwight Evans.
Dwight Evans began high school at Granada Hills, but transferred to Chatsworth, where he was an all-LA City baseball player in 1969. Evans had an amazing throwing arm from his right field position and earned 8 Gold Glove Awards with the Red Sox. His finest season was 1987, when he hit .305 with 34 home runs and 123 RBIs. Evans was an All-Star selection in 1978, 1981, and 1987, and is a two-time Silver Slugger Award winner in 81 and 87. A member of the Boston Red Sox Hall of Fame, Evans ended his career with 2,446 hits, 385 home runs, and 1,384 RBI.
1964, Fremont, Bob Watson.
A lifetime average of .295 with 184 home runs and 989 RBIs. An all-star in 73 and 75, Watson had some major achievements following his playing days, becoming the second African-American general manager with the Houston Astros. He later became the GM of the New York Yankees and was the first African-American GM to win a World Series championship. Bob Watson became the MLB Vice President in charge of discipline and rules. Then he retired in 2010.
Next up, perhaps the wealthiest of tonight's inductees, Grant 1999 Gilbert Arenas.
The greatest basketball player in Grant High School history, Gilbert Arenas was an all-LA City basketball choice in 1998 and 1999. He then attended the University of Arizona, where he was an all-Pac-10 selection twice. Joining the NBA following his sophomore year, he played for 4 NBA squads from 2001 to 2012. Arenas was named the NBA's most valuable player in the 2002-2003 season. His finest years were at Washington, where he was a 3-time All-Star. He was an All-NBA second-team pick in 2007 when he averaged better than 28 points per game. Arenas ended his NBA career with over 11,000 points and a 20.7 per game scoring average.
Gilbert, my name is Howard Levine. I'm Gilbert's high school basketball coach. When I first met Gilbert, he was like 5'9½". But I remember the day he first practiced with us, and I couldn't believe what I saw from side to side. And I brought him into the hallway, and it was just Gilbert and myself, and I said, you know what? I'll say this probably the only time in my career you have a chance to be an NBA basketball player, if you really work hard. And he looked at me like this. He was wondering what the next video game was. And he did work hard, very hard. Dedicated basketball player, a dedicated teammate, tremendous teammate. And now, perhaps his best accomplishment, a dedicated father. He's given us a lot, he keeps giving us a lot. And we at Grant High School will be forever thankful and appreciative of the fact that Gilbert Arenas crossed our pathway. So we thank Gilbert, I thank you all. It's an honor for me to be here on behalf of Gilbert. I'm sure he is thrilled of this great achievement. being amongst some of the great giants here in LA City School. Thank you.
1983 from Palisades. He wanted to be here, but he's a little tied up at this time. Steve Kerr.
A decorated career that began as a talented sharpshooting player at the University of Arizona, Steve Kerr has quickly become one of the most highly respected coaches of the National Basketball Association. He's led the Golden State Warriors to the championship in 2015, which gave him his 6th NBA ring. He won 5 NBA championships as a player with the Bulls and the Spurs. In 2016, the Warriors team set an all-time NBA record for wins in a single season with 73, earning Steve Kerr the NBA Coach of the Year.
From 1974. I saw this guy play. Let me tell you, he could play. For Manual Arts, Freeman Williams.
A Los Angeles playground legend, Freeman Williams was an all-LA City basketball selection in 1973. A scoring machine, Williams played college ball at Portland State and twice led the nation in scoring. He was a second-team All-American in '78 and scored 81 points in a single game that year. Williams played for 4 NBA teams over 6 seasons, including the San Diego Clippers. To this day, Freeman Williams is the 2nd all-time leading scorer in NCAA men's basketball history, only behind another legend, Pistol Pete Maravich.
I want to thank everybody for coming out tonight, and I appreciate this honor. It should have been a long time ago, but I can't do that. I want to thank everybody.
San Pedro, 1973, Cardi Hicks.
Cardi Hicks was one of the pioneers of women's professional basketball. Following her days at San Pedro High, she attended Long Beach State and was an All-American selection in 1976. She then transferred to Cal State Northridge and was an All-American there in 1977. When the WBL was formed in the United States, she played from 1980 to 84 as a member of the San Francisco Pioneers. Following her playing days, Hicks has been involved with nonprofits benefiting children, particularly autistic children.
Please sing your acceptance speech.
He's crazy. First, I want to give honor to my God and to my faith and to all of you that are here tonight. We are so blessed. I mean, we're living this age right now, and it's so honored to be able to stand up here amongst many of you. And I am just so, I'm humbled. And one of the things that keeps me going is my faith. And I travel across the United States speaking for young people today, trying to keep them encouraged. A lot of children that I work with are a little ill, some of them, but they're special. They're my kids. I have many kids all over the United States and also in Europe. And God has been so good to me. Even though you're looking at me right now, I'm getting ready to turn 62, God has been good to me. And I'll tell you one other thing. I've dealt with the surgeries, 9 of them, but I never gave up. And as I'm going to leave here telling you, just do you and believe and put God first. Thank you.
Narbonne 2000, Ebony Hoffman.
A true LA City basketball star, Ebony Hoffman was a 3-time All-LA City selection and the city's most valuable player in 1999 and 2000. Ebony led the Gauchos to the California State Championship and mythical national title in 2000. She set school records with 2,118 career points at Narbonne, 1,851 career rebounds, and 496 blocks. She attended USC and was an All-Pac-10 selection 3 times. She then played in the WNBA with the Indiana Fever, Los Angeles Sparks, and Connecticut Sun from 2004 through 2014.
Well, I didn't know I would be speaking, so this is coming off the top of the dome. Just want to say thank you for everybody for being here tonight. I want to especially thank my family. the success that I have encountered today wouldn't have happened if they wouldn't have surrendered their Saturdays and Sundays, their holidays, their gas money, you know, just their time being able to shuffle me from city to city, state to state, and just follow me everywhere. Thanks, Mom. I wish Dad was here. And to my point guard, who should be inducted in 2019, I'm sure, because she was on that championship team and has 2 national titles. And they're not mythical, they're real. My PG, without you, I wouldn't get all those points that they named. I probably would have got those rebounds, but I surely wouldn't have got those points without you dropping dimes to me. Thank you so much. And to my family, friends, Rambo and Eddie, thank you so much for being here. I wish my dad was here, so thank you.
Narbonne, 1999, Nnamdi Asomugha.
One of the greatest quarterbacks in NFL history, Nnamdi Asomugha was an All-LA City and All-State player in 1998 for Narbonne. Following high school, he played at the University of California. He was an All-Pac-10 pick in 2002. He began his NFL career in 2003 and played with Oakland, Philadelphia, and San Francisco through 2013. Asomugha made 3 Pro Bowls and was a 2-time first-team All-Pro during his 8 seasons with the Raiders.
Interesting factoid, his wife is actress Kerry Washington, who's in my Hall of Fame. I don't know what you're talking about. Okay, now, before I introduce our next inductee, I am asking, please, for the love of God, keep your speech short. Keep, please keep. Yeah, it's you. Dorsey, 1992. It's our buddy Keyshawn Johnson.
Keyshawn Johnson began his high school days at Palisades High School, but transferred to Dorsey High. He then attended West Los Angeles Community College before moving on to USC. Johnson was a 2-time first-team All-American as a wide receiver for the Trojans. He began his NFL career as the first pick of the 1996 draft and played through the 2006 season for the New York Jets, Tampa Bay, Dallas, and Carolina. Johnson was a Pro Bowl selection in 98, 99, and 2001, ending his career with 814 receptions, 64 touchdown catches, and 10,571 yards receiving.
So many people in this room that have touched me in my career, in my life, post career as well as during my career. And when you start off at Pacific Palisades High School because you were born and raised in South Central Los Angeles and you thought that the better place to be and the better education was somewhere else other than the city schools in Los Angeles, although you didn't know as a kid that Pacific Palisades was still part of the inner city, even though it looked a certain way. And that was kind of the start of the mission. A black kid from South Central LA and Pacific Palisades was not for me at that point in time in my life. So I eventually went back to Dorsey, particular area of what they call the jungle or South Central LA or whatever the media would like to call it. And at this point in time, there was a coach by the name of Paul Knox, if any of you remember, that knew me, knew my family, knew my brothers and everything. But I was playing summer league basketball for Pacific Palisades at Dorsey's gym against Dorsey. And after it was over with, and I'm gonna take a long, I'm just telling you, I'm gonna tell you a story. So if it's 8:15 when it's over, it's 8:15, okay. True story though. So when I leave the gym, I go out to watch the football team practicing. And this was a year when they had, the year prior they lost Kevin Copeland and they needed a receiver the following year. They didn't have one at all. I never played receiver a day in my life. And Coach Knox and Coach Daryl Holmes, who was the offensive coordinator at the time, was looking at me, and I had friends on the team. And against the CIF rules, obviously it's over with now. We kind of passed that. They said, can you play wide receiver? I said, oh, of course I can. I got cleats in the car. You want to see? And this, I was still going to Pacific Palisades at the time. And Coach Knox said to me, and Coach Holmes said, get your cleats. I went out and I put my cleats on out the back of my car. True story. This is like unbelievable. It's like a movie type situation. I put my cleats on. I ran one route. I think it was like a curl. It was like HBO or something, he said, was the route or something. I ran the one route. They turned to me and said, if you come here, you will start day one, period. I said, oh, okay. So I made the decision to transfer to Dorsey High School, which really was my home school. But back in the day, as you remember, the transfer rules and the busing of kids and all those sort of things, a lot of kids in the inner city got caught up in that. And I was one that got caught up in it because I felt like growing up in the inner city and hearing helicopters every single night wasn't what I wanted to do. But after I got out to the riches, I figured that wasn't for me. So I went back home because I felt like that was best for me. And because of those things, I feel like that's why I'm here today. That's why I've been able to be the person that I am, because I stay true to my values. And along the way, as I think about it in my life, my career, all the things that I've touched, all the great people, you don't even understand. This dude, Fred Rogan, interviewed me at 9 years old. 9 years old, he interviewed me on the campus at USC. I mean, it was, I know I'm dating you, but still.
When I did it, I was 12.
But he interviewed me at 9 years old. So that just goes to show you all of these different faces and familiar faces that I see in this room over the years. My career, both on and off the field, have come full circle. I couldn't be prouder of the people that have embraced me, who continue to support me, no matter what the situation is. I joke oftentimes about LA and stuff. I say, if I walk down the street and I go crazy one day and I just want to kill everybody, people will say, no, he never did it, because that's the support that I get from my people in Los Angeles. I really, truly do. I really get that support, and I appreciate it from each and every one of the individuals that are in this room. And I want to say one thing about Dr. Wells and Mr. Love, who were administrators at the time at Dorsey High School. They embraced me no matter what anybody said about me, because growing up in South Central Los Angeles, as you know, it can be difficult for adolescents. It was a very difficult position for me as an adolescent. But guess what? They trusted, they believed, and they helped me get to the place that I am today. So I thank all of you. I don't want to take any more time. Hopefully I didn't run over too much, but thanks a lot. And fight on to anybody in here from UCLA.
So a couple of things. First of all, Keyshawn's son, Keyshawn Jr., has committed to Nebraska. And he goes to school with my son, Jack, at Calabasas. And Keyshawn Jr. is one hell of a wide receiver. So Key, congratulations on that. Second of all, you can hear Key every morning on ESPN Radio 710 from 6 to 9 a.m. And I invite you to do that. And the minute he's over, come back to our radio station, AM 570 LA Sports, while we're on noon to 2. And Key, from the bottom of my heart, and I've known you a long time, seriously, thanks for sticking to the time limit. Okay. 1984, Westchester, Ken Norton Jr.
The son of former world heavyweight boxing champion Ken Norton Sr., Ken Norton became an all-LA City fullback at Westchester High School in 1983. Earning a scholarship to UCLA, he became an All-American linebacker for the Bruins in 1987. He entered the NFL in 1988 and played through 2000 with Dallas and the San Francisco 49ers. Norton was an All-Pro pick in 1995, and a Pro Bowl selection in 93, 95, and 97. He's the only player in NFL history to win a Super Bowl ring in 3 consecutive years. He is currently the defensive coordinator for the Oakland Raiders. Frank Sandy Tatum, Los Angeles, 1938. Although he never was a professional golf star, Sandy Tatum devoted his life to the sport of golf. He was a member of Stanford's back-to-back NCAA golf championship teams in 41 and 42, and he won the national individual title in 42. He was the president of the United States Golf Association from 1978 through 1980, and served on the USGA Executive Committee from 72 through 1980. Sandy Tatum is a member of the Stanford Athletics Hall of Fame and the Bay Area Sports Hall of Fame.
Hamilton, 1960, Ron Barrick.
Ron Barrick, Hamilton, 1960. Ron was the 1960 LA City Schools horizontal bar champion. In 1962, he was a key member of the University of Southern California Trojans NCAA championship gymnastics team. From 65 to 1968, Ron was the head coach of USC's gymnastics team. Ron Barrick is a member of the United States Gymnastics Hall of Fame.
San Pedro, 1941, Frank Endo.
Frank Endo was a gymnast, soldier, judge, guide, and interpreter. In 1941, he placed in the LA City Schools gymnastic finals in the floor exercise and parallel bars. Following World War II, Endo became a teacher and coach in the LAUSD. He was a gymnastics judge for over 50 years, including the 1984 Olympic Games. Frank Endo is the only individual to be a member of the Japanese Gymnastics Hall of Fame and the U.S. Gymnastics Hall of Fame.
Chatsworth, 1970. This guy will give you a big squeeze. It's Steve Hugg.
Steve Hugg dominated the 1968 LA Gymnastics Finals, winning the parallel bars, the pommel horse, the floor exercise, and the all-around. At Stanford, he earned 11 All-American honors in gymnastics, winning the NCAA all-around title from 72 through 74, and twice winning the parallel bars at the NCAAs. Hugg was a U.S. champion in the all-around in 69, 72, and 74. He competed for the U.S. at the 1968 and 72 Olympics and at the 1974 World Championships. Steve Hugg is a member of the Stanford Athletics Hall of Fame.
Batting, 1999, Arturo Torres.
Arturo Torres was an all-LA City soccer player for batting twice in 98 and 99. He then attended Loyola Marymount and was an All-West Coast Conference choice 4 times. He was the Conference Player of the Year in 2002. The most prolific scorer in LMU history, Torres was selected 19th overall by the LA Galaxy in the 2003 MLS Super Draft. Chivas USA made Torres the first official player in club history, drafting him first overall in the 2004 MLS Expansion Draft.
Hamilton, 1939, Joe Zomar.
Joe Zomar played B football at Hamilton High School. He tried his hand at pro wrestling and professional football with the Los Angeles Bulldogs of the American Football League before turning to soccer. He joined the Los Angeles Magyars, the dominant club team in Southern California, and became the biggest star in local soccer ranks. He was selected for the 1948 U.S. Olympic soccer team, but he was not allowed to participate due to his earlier professional sports activities. Carol Bloomfield, El Camino Real, 1999. Carol Bloomfield was a 3-time All-LA City shortstop and was the City Player of the Year at El Camino in 1999 and a first-team All-State selection. She was also an All-City basketball player twice. Carol went on to Boston College, where she was a second-team All-American shortstop in 2002, batting .445 and ranking among the nation's top 10 hitters. As a result of her outstanding efforts, she became Boston College's first All-American athlete in the sport of softball. She is a member of the Boston College Athletics Hall of Fame.
Honestly, Keyshawn, I don't know how I'm going to follow your illegal transfer story up here, but I'll do my best. First of all, thank you to the city section. This was a very good excuse to get my hair done today, so I appreciate that. It is quite an honor. I'd like to first thank my family, who's all here. I appreciate it, just like Ebony said, the weekends, the holidays, everything you can imagine with softball, basketball, sports. I'd also like to thank everybody else for being here. It's truly an honor. High school athletics is very meaningful to me, It's taught me so much in my life that I've done a full 360, and now I'm coaching back at El Camino. And I'm trying to make my lasting imprint on these athletes as my coaches had done to me. So thank you, Fred. I actually haven't seen the challenge, but I appreciate, I'm chasing a 1-year-old around the house. I don't have time for TV. But I appreciate you covering the sports, and Randy and Eric. You guys have been such a dedicated people to really high school athletics, so I appreciate that a lot too. My buddies over there. So thank you.
San Pedro 1979, Luis Stiglitz, quick.
Louise earned MVP honors in basketball, volleyball, and softball in each of her 3 years at San Pedro High School. She was selected as the Southern California Softball Player of the Year. She continued her excellence when she moved on to Chapman College, where she was an All-American pitcher in 1980, 81, and 83. In 1988, she became the first female to be inducted into the Chapman College Hall of Fame.
But let me just say this. A lot of people are being inducted tonight because they're all deserving. They've all accomplished something. For everyone in this room, they've made them very proud. The City Section Hall of Fame Awards mean something, and I'll tell you how I know this. Years ago, they used to have something called the Orange County Jewish Sports Hall of Fame Awards. And they asked me to be the MC of these awards years ago. So I went down and I did it 1 year. Howard Cosell actually spoke, for those of you old enough to remember, at these awards. And they asked me to come back a second year, and I did it again. And to show you that these are very real tonight and everyone is deserving of this honor, they asked me to come back a third year. But they said, let's have a meeting at Art's Delicatessen in Studio City. Okay. So the guy drives up and he sits down. He goes, I need your help. You know, we want to do this another year, but here's the problem. I said, what's the problem? He goes, we're out of Jewish people that are Hall of Fame athletes in Orange County. Ooh, that's a problem. I didn't do it that year. Everybody tonight that's being honored as we sit through and see the videos and hear them speak is deserving of the honor, and I wanted to point that out. Manual Arts, Jefferson Fremont, Richard Pancho Gonzalez.
The first Hispanic to win a Grand Slam tennis title, Gonzalez attended 3 high schools, but played no interscholastic tennis. In 1948 and 1949, Pancho won the U.S. National Championship, now the U.S. Open. He turned pro in 1949 and was the best player from 52 through 1961. In 1968, at the age of 40, he was the semifinalist at the French Open and quarterfinals at the U.S. Open.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I am Richard Gonzalez Jr., my father's son, first son. And on behalf of him, of course, I wish he were here tonight. And his foundation, I would like to say thank you very much. And also to my table number 5, who has really made everything so enjoyable. And everybody else here, thank you very much.
Just want to say quickly, my uncle learned to play tennis at Exposition Park, right next to the Coliseum. Probably where Mr. Smith learned to play too. They had excellent tennis players there. And these kids, African American, Mexican American, everybody played there. Superb. Given the opportunity, they developed into great players. With that, we've started the foundation. If these inner city kids are given the opportunity, they can do something. Thank you.
All right, let's just call it the way it is. These 2 guys are really good-looking men. And This guy with the beard, doesn't he look like the most interesting man in the world from the commercials? I'm just saying. All right, manual arts, 1954, Larry Smith.
A five-time collegiate champion, Larry Smith won the California Collegiate Athletic Association singles titles in 1958 and 1959. Smith helped lead Cal State LA to a top 10 national ranking in the major university division twice in 57 and 58. Smith coached the Dorsey High School tennis teams to a city section record 80 consecutive 7-league victories from 71 through 1978. Smith is a member of the Cal State Los Angeles Athletics Hall of Fame.
Fred, a couple of things. I'm one of those guys that was inducted into the Jewish, Southern California Jewish Fellowship. Thanks a lot, buddy.
Los Angeles, Orange County.
Southern California.
All right, I'm with you. Thank you. Mazel tov, everybody.
And to a fellow lawnsman, I would like to say that you don't tell a Jew to tell a short story. It's like telling Mel Brooks to get up here and tell a serious story. Larry and I were met in college in the early 60s. We've been friends for over 50 years. His wife Janet over there is here, and we both got married a month apart. Both families have been married. They've been married for 38 years. We've been married for 38 years. On that, as a few notes, one with Fred is that we were a mixed couple. My wife's black and Larry's black and Janet's white, and we taught at Audubon, got married in the 60s. And my son, I remember, took a two classes at USC. One was in the Holocaust and one was in African American Studies. And I said to him after he took the classes, I said, "Son, what did you learn?" And he said, "I learned I'm in some serious trouble." Larry and Larry, he was the Jackie Robinson of tennis. I remember asking Larry, I said, "Larry, how many years did you miss being a pro?" And he said, "Oh, maybe 8-10 years." I said, "Was that because you're African American?" He said, "No, not really." He said, "I had some problems with the housing on the NCAA tournament tour and so forth, but that's not the reason I didn't turn pro." I said, "Well, what was the reason?" He said, "There was no money in tennis." We forget, because today there's so much money in athletics, that there was a time when, especially minority people, they had to struggle. They had to go to work. He had to go to work. He didn't have a sponsor. Arthur had a sponsor. He didn't have a sponsor. Today, he would be a pro. He was that good. I remember at Dorsey High School, the kids would line up to see if they could return his serve. It was wonderful. He just was such a gentleman, and unfortunately, he's not here today because he's suffering from Alzheimer's right now. I visited him today. I told him I was going to bring his trophy to him.
North Hollywood, 1954, Barbara Bright Gordon.
One of the top female tennis players during the 1950s, Barbara was the United States girls 18s national hardcourt singles champion in 1954 and 1955, and U.S. junior outdoor doubles champion in 1954 and 1955. Barbara made the world's singles top 10 rankings twice, at number 8 in 1955 and number 7 in 1957. Barbara is the author of a noted tennis book, Improving Your Tennis Game, and was a tennis columnist in the 1970s. Mary Arnold Prentice, Manual Arts, 1934. Mary Prentice was a member of the Whiteman Cup team in 1939 and was ranked in the U.S. top 10 for 8 years. Prentice won 30 national tennis titles from 57 through 72 including 12 National Public Parks singles titles and 7 National Public Parks doubles titles. She also won the United States Women's Senior Hardcourt Doubles 9 times from 58 through 1970. Prentice is a member of the Southern California Tennis Association Senior Hall of Fame. Butts was a long jumper for the Pathfinders and placed 6th at the 1968 LA City Long Jump. He went on to UCLA and became a triple jumper and was the NCAA champion in 1972. At the 1976 Summer Olympic Games, Butts excelled in winning a silver medal in the triple jump. Butts won the U.S. outdoor title and set the U.S. triple jump record at the 1978 World Championships. James Butts is a member of the UCLA Athletics Hall of Fame.
I'm not filling 2 minutes either, so bear with me. I first want to thank God for giving me the courage to do the things I had to do. I want to thank the peer pressure of my brothers and sisters in Christ to give me the courage to do the things that I didn't know about. I want to thank the brothers I had from Fremont High. Yeah. To give me that peer pressure to do the things I had to do with them. Because in order to do with them, you had to make the team. Not just to get the little tunic, little jacket, and stuff like that, you had to make the team and score. I said, I just want to get on the team and, you know, look good and wear the jacket like that. It didn't work like that. I never thought I'd be up here, because usually when you're up here, somebody's representing you because you're dead. Who knew? When I see the call from His Honor on telling me that I was going to be inducted into this, I went, for real? He says, can you come? I said, yes. Just tell me when, where, and I'll be there with my entourage. Get off the phone, I call everybody, let them know, woohoo. Asked me to be a part of the Hall of Fame for our city section. I said, Southern section, Southern section. Here we are. I didn't know that I was going to be successful triple jumping. I had so many peers in front of me that were jumping out of their mind. I got tired of finishing second and third and fourth. So I went to the all-comers meet and learned how to triple jump from the guys that would beat me. After the meet, they would show me something else I needed to know. At the end of the year, I put it together like a puzzle, and I got lucky and I beat them. I got a call that evening from the University of California at Los Angeles. They asked me if I would come to the university. I had no money, no scholarship. I said yes. I went over there and they told me I'd be going against some school from Figueroa Tech. I don't know. Mustard and ketchup. And since they turned their nose down at me for trying to offer me a scholarship, I made it my position the next 4 years to hand them a royal whooping. I loved it. So, in short, at Fremont High, they taught me basically one thing. Find a way or make one. I worked hard and I think I did. As for you Trojans out there, we learned something there too. Another thing was to fight, fight, fight. And y'all got a chance to taste that for 4 glorious years. Thank y'all for having me at this. Thank you for the guys who are not here, and hopefully next year a good teammate of mine will get a chance to be up here, who still holds the LA City World 440-yard dash record, a man by the name of John W. Smith. He should be here. He's a good guy, he's deserving, and I'm taking this time to let him know that, let that resonate a little too for you. He's a good guy, he needs to be here. But thank you for having me, God bless. See you next year.
1967, from Carson, Ralph Mann.
Ralph Mann placed 4th in the high hurdles and 5th in the low hurdles at the 1967 LA City Track Finals. When he arrived at BYU, he found a new event, the 400-meter intermediate hurdles. Mann was victorious in 3 straight NCAA finals. 3 straight U.S. National AAU finals, and was named a 3-time All-American. His crowning moment, however, came at the 1972 Summer Olympic Games, when he earned a silver medal in the 400-meter hurdles. Ralph Mann is a member of the U.S. Track and Field Hall of Fame and the BYU Athletics Hall of Fame.
Good evening to LA City's finest ladies and gentlemen. And thank you very much to the LA City Sports Hall of Fame. Ralph Mann sends his regrets for not being able to attend. He sends his thanks for the honor bestowed today, as well as his thanks for being part of the LA City school system, whose coaches gave him so much. I'm a former Carson High teammate of Dr. Ralph Mann, from the late, great coaches Jerry McDonald and Gene Wollnagel's 1966 and 67 track and field teams. And actually, Mr. Hal Harkness was a teacher at Carson High School. I taught next to him. And anyway, Ralph was also on the baseball team. And his teammate, Frank Gutierrez, and I are here proudly to accept his award. Ralph distinguished himself as being the first California State High School qualifier for Carson High School history, 120-yard high hurdles, 14.3. He was a two-sport athlete, as I alluded to, and he was a member of the late great Carson High School baseball coach Gelson's Marine League Championship baseball team in '67. Very rarely do you see a track athlete playing on the baseball team. However, Ralph Mann did it. Simultaneously practiced with the baseball team while he captained the track and field team. He was a pitcher. He pitched in the city playoffs. For all of his hard work and sports accomplishments, and an exemplary high school scholar, he received an athletic scholarship at Brigham Young University. He worked tirelessly, and he was rewarded with a victory, as he was, as said, 3-time NC2A champion, All-American, 440-yard intermediate hurdles. Ralph was second in the voting to the Sullivan Award, by the way. He broke the world record, 48.8, versus his old Gardena High School nemesis, the late great Wayne Collette, who went to UCLA. And for that reason, I say to you that we accept it. We're very proud of, he's a very humble individual. And so for Ralph Mann, go Carson Colts.
Polytechnic, 1932, Bill Sefton.
Bill dominated the world pole vault scene in the mid-30s. He began his pole vault career at Polytechnic, where in 1932 he was the LA City champion, the California State champ, and set a new national scholastic record in the pole vault. While at USC, he either won or tied for the NCAA pole vault championship from 1935 through 1937. In 1937, Sefton set a new pole vault world record at 14 feet 11 inches. Bill Sefton is a member of the USA Track and Field Hall of Fame. Jordan, 1965. Jarvis Scott was a member of the legendary Los Angeles Mercurettes Track Club. In 1968, she was the U.S. National AAU champion in the 400 meters and went on to the 1968 Summer Olympic Games, where she placed 6th in the 400 meters. A graduate of Cal State Los Angeles, Scott began a coaching career at Texas Tech, where she was the women's track head coach for 12 years, as well as the men's and women's cross-country head coach. Jarvis Scott is a member of the Cal State Los Angeles Athletics Hall of Fame. Ricky Luty's Palisades, 1980. A two-time All-LA City volleyball player, Ricky Luty's was the LA City Player of the Year in 1980. He was a member of the U.S. National Volleyball Team from 1985 through 1988 and earned a gold medal as a member of the 1988 U.S. Olympic Volleyball Team. He was one of the most decorated setters in NCAA history for UCLA, leading the Bruins to 4 consecutive NCAA championships from 81 through 1984. Luty's was a 2-time All-American and named the NCAA Most Valuable Player twice in 83 and 84. He is presently the women's volleyball head coach at the University of California, San Diego. Ricky Ludes is a member of the UCLA Athletics Hall of Fame.
1969 Palisades, Chris Marlowe.
Chris's career began with 3 LA City volleyball titles at Palisades. He continued playing at San Diego State University, winning an NCAA volleyball title, as well as earning All-American honors in '73. He was named USA Volleyball's MVP in 1976 and again in 1978. Marlowe's volleyball career culminated with an Olympic gold medal as captain of the 1984 men's volleyball team. Chris Marlowe is a member of California's Beach Volleyball Hall of Fame and the San Diego State Athletics Hall of Fame.
Well, it's great to be here. Before I get going, I'd like to recognize our MC tonight. How about a big hand for Fred Rogan? I'd like to thank the committee, the Hall of Fame committee that had the idea to put us all in tonight. I'd like to congratulate all my fellow nominees and inductees. It's quite an honor to go in and be here at this time and place. Back in the day, when I was a youngster, the 50s and the 60s, most people didn't know a volleyball from a pineapple. It was a sport that was just kind of getting going. It wasn't a mainstream sport. It certainly wasn't played in the LA City section. Mostly it was basketball, football, and baseball. My high school, Palisades, opened in 1961. In 1963, they hired a teacher/coach named Howard Enstead. Now, Howard played basketball and football and ran track at University High School, our rival. And when they hired him at Palisades, they said, come on over, you're going to do gymnastics and be football, and you're going to start a volleyball program. So Howard got the program going at Palisades, and boy, did he ever. If you look at Howard's bio, he was elected to the Hall of Fame in 2015. Maybe some of you remember that, but if you look at his bio, it says he won 10 LA City section championships, and he did, and that was from 1974 on to when he retired. But before that, he won another 10 titles when the sport was not sanctioned, but they were still playing LA City volleyball. I know because I was on 3 of those teams, 1967, 68, and 69. So volleyball, for me, that was my start. And I was lucky enough to go on to San Diego State and win a NCAA championship there. And then a little bit later, to win a gold medal for the United States in 1984 at the Olympics. I would like to thank Howard Enstead for getting me going in the sport of volleyball. I'd like to thank all my teammates at Palisades High School, wherever they are, and I would like to thank my family that's here tonight, Lori, Mackenzie, and Grace. You've just been fantastic. Thank you so much.
Gene Gartner, Washington, 1956.
Jean was a member of the U.S. national volleyball team in 1959, 63, and again in 1964. With all her volleyball success, she also excelled in track and field as a high jumper and is one of the few athletes who has ever appeared in the Olympics in 2 different sports. Jean was a high jumper on the 1960 U.S. Olympic team and was a member of the 1964 U.S. Olympic volleyball team. Gardner became the first female athlete to compete in 2 Olympiads in 2 non-related sports. She is a member of the U.S. Volleyball Hall of Fame and the International Volleyball Hall of Fame. Palisades, 1977. An outstanding swimmer in high school, Tonna Vanderway was a 3-time LA City 200 individual medley champion, a 2-time 100 backstroke champion, and the 1976 100 freestyle champion. At the 1976 Olympic Games, she competed in the 100-meter backstroke and advanced to the semifinals in that event. Vanderway swam at UCLA and won 5 NCAA titles, and then transferred to USC, where she played volleyball and won an NCAA championship. She was an alternate on the 1984 United States Olympic volleyball team.
Congratulations to each and every one of the inductees. God bless to everyone in this room who came to support them. Watch NBC4 and listen to AM 570 LA Sports Radio. Thank you all very much.
Before you all go, we just want to say thank you. I know for some of you, a lot of you, you're retirees, but for some of us, we still got to go to the front lines of work tomorrow, so I'll be very quick. We'd like to thank our section staff that has helped put this on. Alexa Berg, Dick Dornan, Myra Lepisco, but Christy McNorton, and even my mom, Holly Wagenbach, who drug out to help check you in today, so we'd like to thank everyone. We'd like to thank our Board of Managers and Executive Committee, our Hall of Fame Committee, Trent Cornelius, Willard Love, Rick Obran, and Rick Prezant. Mac Enterprises for our program of posters. If you would like a poster, we have extra posters up in front. You can come and collect one of those. Harston Parker for videos, Randy Rosenblum for voiceovers for videos, Jorge Corrado for videography, Ross Benson for photographer, and of course our media, Eric Sonheimer, Steve Galuzzo, and Fred Rogan for MC. Thank you very much, and congratulations to all.